Oh, gosh. Remember when we first started, Tom? A little small co-institutional school,
Oh God, yes.
mom and pop operation,
Yeah.
the Maris brothers.
Good thing we didn't apply now. They'd probably be bouncing us out of here.
Right, right.
But those days, they were happy to see us.
I know
We
it.
breathed. You know, we
Right.
had some kind of a degree.
That's right.
But that was a good start, though.
Oh, it was wonderful.
It was a
It
good
was
start.
wonderful. And whatever they had then, they have today, which is
I know it.
community
I know.
and good people.
Right. We think I always considered the especially I mean I assume it's the same way now. I know it's the same way now, but I always thought the best thing about it was the constancy. You know.
Exactly.
I mean, especially because I dealt with negotiating contracts and so forth with some of the other Catholic high schools in the diocese. There was fluctuation all the time. Principal was coming, principal was leaving. You know, nobody was there for very long, except some complaining teachers. And our school, you know, we had good, steady, year in and year out leadership from Brother Kelly, Nick Caffrey, Monsignor Shea, Dick Bishop. I mean, that's 30 years almost
Right.
of basically the same type of leadership,
Well,
and it made for a good environment. You go to school every day and you wouldn't worry about, who's going to bother you or hassle you. You just went there and did your work
Right.
and had fun.
It was a dedicated staff
Yep.
and dedicated parents.
Yep.
They were wonderful people.
They were.
I could never complain about the parents. You know, other administrators would say, "Oh, the parents are so
know.
difficult to work with," and
Well-
I found them to be the greatest people.
I did too.
You know,
It seems
especially
like-
you were one of the parents,
I was. Ooh.
Norm.
Yeah, and you too. We all were.
Yeah.
Norm. Oh yeah, Norman.
Norm,
I
did you
remember him.
remember Norm?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that guy. Yes.
Oh, he used to make it fun every day, didn't
Oh
he?
God, yeah. I know.
You just think of Norm and you laugh.
I know. That's right.
But
But it was a great place to work. It's fun. I still have one of my daughters up here, and she says it's still a great place to work.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
then again, there's still a lot of teachers on the faculty that were here through most of our tenure here, and are still doing a great job.
and you know what's
And the
fascinating,
principal has been here forever.
right?
So all I can speak for the president is just what I hear, and apparently he's doing a very good job, but they didn't have those guys when we were here.
No, they didn't have all those. But and I think the other thing that really I find marvelous and fascinating is that so many alums are on the faculty.
Right. Right.
We must have a record. I keep telling them they should put it in a special article in the.
Actually, two
Fairfield
things,
College.
and not only that, but we had on the faculty when we were there were husband and wife teams, the
Oh, yeah.
Greens, the
Yeah,
Collinses,
Collins,
and now the Peggy Marino and Bob Marino and a lot of the graduates, a lot of them send their children to St.
Oh,
Joe's.
absolutely.
So, in fact, it's even getting to the third generation. Ooh,
Gee, good thing we
we're
left
getting old.
town. We'd
I know.
really be old.
That was my. I said to myself, I'm not staying to teach one of my former students' grandchild. I'm not doing that.
I know it.
If I stayed any longer, I would have been doing it.
I know.
But anyway, But I always thought that about that.
Well, it has the dedication that people and the sense of community.
Right.
They come to St. Joe's and they fall in love.
Right.
They fall in love with the school. That's what makes it
Right. That's
perfect. Not perfect. Great. Unique.
yeah. Well, that's why. That one word somebody was looking for was. I always thought it was like the reputation. It just. And no matter what aspect you talk about, the academics, the community involvement, social activities, athletics, the arts, there's a good reputation
Absolutely.
in the
Absolutely.
community of the school,
And it's really
getting into colleges and things like that.
Yeah, it does. It does have a wonderful reputation, and our athletics have risen to,
I know.
you know, and that attracts a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
As well as our academics and fine arts and all of those wonderful things
Right.
we offer. But I mean, I remember when the lacrosse team started.
Oh, boy.
Those poor kids couldn't win a game, and now it's
I know.
state championships, and
I know.
it's really great.
All they wanted to do at the start was put a bandana on their head and criticize the football players. But they had
Well,
no
they
idea
still
how to
do
play
that.
the game.
They still do that.
Yeah, I know, but
they know
good,
how
though.
to play the game.
Now they know how to play the game. But you know, it's a place that somehow we fell into.
Yes.
I mean, when I applied, I could easily have been stationed at some other school, you know, with Stanford Catholic at that time, or Notre Dame, or someplace, and you know, I'm sure I would have done all right. I'm sure it would have been a nice
Wouldn't have been
life,
the same.
but it's not the same.
I remember when Bob Baroni, who's married to my cousin, called me and said, "Could you come and substitute for a few months at St. Joseph's?" And I said, "Well, gee, that sounds great. I had 4 preschoolers." I said, "But it sounds good."
Yeah.
And when Brother Kelly called me, I said, "Well, you know, I might consider it." And he said, "Well, can you come up and we'll meet?" And I said, "Okay. Where are you located?" And he said, "Where do you live?"
Yeah.
And I truly live 3 minutes,
Right.
maybe 5 from
Right.
this school, literally. And I didn't even know where it was. But
Well, the
I
first
came
time
up-
I came up from an interview, I got lost. I thought I was early, so I was early,
You were
Yeah,
early.
imagine
That's something.
and I figured, well, instead of going up Huntington Turnpike, I'll go up Shelton Road. It's, you know, it's got to meet the same. I didn't.
Doesn't do
I
that.
ended up someplace, but I made it. But
We had a lot of wonderful years. And,
we did.
I'm so happy that my grandkids have come, one family of them anyway, and so it kind of keeps me in contact.
Yeah.
with
Well,
the
I have
school.
Kathleen's son is up here, and her
That's
other
right.
2
He's
kids
on
will
the
be
hockey
here.
team, right?
He's on a hockey team.
With
How
Ryan.
about that?
Yeah.
And of course, I still drive the bus periodically, not very often, but enough. And you know, it keeps me in touch too. But it's great when I come in here, and I, you know, if I have time to go through the school, you still see Tom Collins, and you still see Carl Valois, and you still see Dan Walsh, and you
yeah.
still, you know, Pat Pardee there, and Betsy,
Yeah.
who went here, came back and taught. Peggy, who went here, came back to teach.
Lisa
And,
Cellini.
you know,
We have a whole bunch of those
Yeah,
people.
I know
It's
it.
really great.
Yeah.
I know. Never want to leave. I can remember once after I taught here a couple of years, I went on an actual job interview at a public school. I had started out teaching in a public
Right.
school. And I was driving to that interview, and I thought, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm so happy where I am.
I know. I know.
Why am I thinking of this? And I thought, I don't want this job. And I stayed. And it was a wonderful decision because
Well,
my kids benefited too,
right.
because they came and had.
And when I decided I wanted to teach, there was no hesitation that, you know, in my decision making. I said I want to teach in a Catholic school, high school, and so I didn't even consider applying anyplace else. And once I got into it, and even though, you know, we always complained about the money and so forth, I still would never have considered going anyplace else.
Right.